Hey, what's up, YouTube? I'm out here. I thought I would show you guys the Ernie Blaster 2000. Something I made about 6, 7 years ago. I never really showed it to anybody other than friends that came over. But I was looking for a sandblaster years ago, and I started looking into what they would cost and all that. So I was online and I saw. Turn on the light here. I saw some guys made a sandblaster out of 55-gallon drum, pretty crude. It wasn't that nice, and I thought, man, I can make something better than that. So I decided to make one, and everything you see here that I made it out of, other than the 55-gallon drum, was stuff you could buy at Home Depot or Harbor Freight. For example, I made this frame here myself. I had the metal, I welded it together, and just put this window sealant here that you'd put on your windows to seal it better when you close them. And this piece 20 by, I believe it's 24 by 12, this piece of plastic that I use for a window, you can get at Home Depot. Just once it gets all beat up, you take these 4 screws out, take this top piece off, go to Home Depot and get a new one. That simple. These right here, this is going to be funny here. If you guys don't know what this is, I've worked construction as well when I was younger. When you build a house, this is where the toilet sits on. So this thing would be this way, and the toilet would sit on top of it. And my automotive side kicked in when I decided to use them, and I just got these gloves from Harbor Freight and slid them over just like you would the toilet, and put this ring on here just like a radiator hose. So all this stuff, this I ordered online from Amazon, like always. And then I had an old lamp, so I tore it apart and used the lamp parts there to make the light. So you can see it here. Just wired up the wires, ran it to so you could just plug it in. And just use a 55-gallon drum. This is the funny thing here. I was wondering what I could use for the metal grate down here, right? And this is going to be funny to you. I'm driving to my ex-wife's house, and it rained really bad out here, so it kind of flooded, and this shopping cart was out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, far away from any supermarket or anything. I don't know how it got out there. Maybe some kids took it out there, or a bum, and it got away from him. But it was in the middle of the road. So it was in the time that I was making this thing here, and I decided, man, I looked at the basket because I stopped to throw it in the back of my truck to get it out of the street because I thought maybe my ex-sister-in-law might hit it, She can hit a pothole within a 50-mile radius every time, so I figured she might hit it, and so I just got it out of the road, and that's when it hit me like, man, I could use the basket from the shopping cart. And so I did. But like I said, the gloves were at Harbor Freight. They're probably $5 or $6. This thing's here. I bought them at Home Depot. Rings here, Home Depot, and just all these are air conditioner parts that I put together. I had to reinforce it because that media in there is pretty heavy, probably 40 pounds. And let me show you how it works. So we're gonna plug in the air here. I welded the. Oh, it's not plugged in over here. And what I found out about sandblasters is, I could have bought one, probably. I could have probably bought one. I could have probably bought a sand. It probably cost me about 100 and maybe $30 to make that. I mean, something that size equivalent to that is probably about 300. But I just got the idea. Is it worth you doing it, trying it? I don't know, but I got the idea. I did it. It's kind of neat when people see it or my friends see it. They think I bought it because of all the hot rod stickers and part stickers I bought. I just stick them on there. But it's just pretty cool that I was able to make it myself. That's really. But what I realized about air compressors when I was looking at it, unless you spend $1,500 for like the baddest one in the world, or $1,700 that has a built-in vacuum and a built-in compressor, that can sandblast anything, well, if you got that money, then go for it. But what I learned about, cause this is your basic Harbor Freight, the better air compressor, not too cheap, not too expensive. They're usually always on sale for like $1.50. The engine is 2.5 horsepower. What I understood, I mean, the tank is okay. It's really the power of your engine is going to determine how powerful your sandblaster is. So if you go buy a sandblaster, the one for 300, it doesn't come with an air compressor. You have, or a vacuum. You have to do that. Put your compressor to that sandblaster. But what I realized about it's not how big your compressor is, it's how big the engine is. I've never used this on a 5 horsepower, which I would love to do. Maybe one day when I buy a 5 horsepower air compressor, you know, the big ones with the tank, which I will one day, I would like to try that. But let me just show you how it works and how you can see, you know. Here's an old, like, rusty part here. You know what I mean? Let me get it in the light. Your basic rusty part here. I'm not going to sandblast the whole thing, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Just put this in there, put it somewhere in the middle, and then I close this. You've got to put silicone all over it. Even if you buy an air compressor from Harbor Freight for $300, or Harbor Freight has a little $100 one, but no light or nothing, smaller than this. When you put it together, you have to get a silicone and do all that on your own. Here's the one I have, you know, and you have to seal it in here, you know. Even if you put one together that comes that you build yourself, you have to put silicone and all this stuff around it because it's going to need it. So whether I'm building it myself or putting it together, I figured. So let me show you how it works. The air compressor might kick on just so.
Okay.
And so, the vacuum is, you turn on the vacuum first. And I don't know if you can see because I have in there, you can't see, I can see, but the gloves are kind of, here we go. This is just a demonstration of what it does. You can see that it just takes all the rust off. These small parts, it's great. You just hit that on there. And you can't leave it like that. Once you hit that, but you see how it took off all that old paint and rust really easily. Really nice, actually. So I'm not saying that it's worth you doing this. I just did it and I thought it was cool and I'm glad I did it because people see it now and they're pretty impressed with it. But I thought I would share it with you guys. If you guys are at home and you think you could build something, do it. Why not? You know what I mean? It could be fun, and when you're done with it, you have something like this. You're pretty proud of it. But hey, like I said, thanks for watching and please subscribe.